My name is Dimitris Vranopoulos. I'm the CEO and president of Marine Plus SA in Greece. I'm very happy to be in Capital Link again in Shanghai and have the chance to give my 2 cents based on this interview. Shipping is facing a series of challenges. In my opinion, the 2 main challenges on the one hand are the human element, crewing, big issue in terms of how we can actually bring into shipping young people, well-educated, because the technical requirement on board vessels is increasing all the time. We need competent and dedicated crew. So that's a main issue in my opinion. And the second, of course, is the well-known decarbonization and how realistically this whole issue of coming to net zero by 2050 is actually going to happen. Big question for me.
What is the role of China in global shipping?
The role of China. China at the moment, more or less, is at the forefront in all aspects of shipping. In terms of new building, they now have officially the largest order book worldwide compared to Korea and Japan. In terms of cargo, whether you measure it as exports or imports, they're the largest exporter with I think 3.7 trillion US for 22. The second largest importer, so they have a large control over cargo. They are the main maintenance and repair center for vessels. So basically they've got it all. In my opinion, it's important for China perhaps to slow down a bit in terms of increasing their share of new building or increasing their share of the fleet as well. China officially took over from Greece as the largest fleet in the world very recently. Okay, by a small margin, but it's still there. So I think China should look to create more equilibrium and more joint ventures so that other people can actually stay in the game as well.
Okay, so a couple of things are happening that have happened in the last, I would say, last 5 or 10 years. So there's been a big shift in financing from dominated by Western banks, and now you're seeing Eastern finance providers, so Chinese lessors, Japanese operating leases, plus several banks around the region. Taiwan, we are based in Thailand, we work a lot with Thai banks as well. So that's one big change. Geographically, it's changing. And that's good for us because we are a Thai company, so the financiers are closer to us. We're able to build stronger relationships with the financiers. Number 2, there's also a number of multilaterals that have entered finance, and I think that's a good trend. So we've worked with, for instance, the likes of International Finance Corporation. We also recently, just last week, we issued a bond in cooperation with the Asian Development Bank. This is a covered bond. We were the first shipping company in the ASEAN region to issue a sustainability-linked bond with 2 tranches, a 5-year tranche, a 10-year tranche. And so again, on the subject of sustainability, so again, financing, in the past there was a little bit of focus on sustainability. Now there are tangible targets that companies have to meet as part of their financing requirements. So for instance, in our case, the bond that we've just issued, we have a target to reduce our emissions by 38.5% by 2034 compared to the emissions in 2019. And so, as a company, we have a responsibility to our shareholders, but we also got a responsibility to society at large. That's in line with our strategy to be sustainable as a business and to be a responsible company. So as a dry bulk company, China by far is the most important driver of dry bulk trade demand. So well over 50% of dry bulk trade demand is derived from China. So, and the good news is that actually China continues to grow. So if you just look at some data from last month, China's imports of 3 commodities, so iron ore, coal and soybean, these 3 commodities combined in the month of September hit a record. So coal was up on the back of very strong growth in electricity generation in China. Iron ore was also up, despite the negative news that you're seeing about the property market. the other sectors in the Chinese economy, the manufacturing sector, the EV sector, plus also the export sector, all of this is doing very well, and this has driven demand quite a bit for iron ore. Coal, again, electricity generation has gone up because of more EVs, more AI, more data centers, so all of this drives demand. Yeah? And then finally, soybean. So as the country continues to get more and more prosperous, there's more demand for soybean, which is used mainly for animal feed, to feed the large population that is there in this country, which is getting wealthier each year. People say that China is not doing well, but I would say 4.6% growth on an $18 trillion economy is actually quite good.
For the coming of the market, generally I'm pretty positive about this market. I think the Chinese stimulus is going to happen, and it can potentially change the present depressed status of the China's real estate market. So finally, it will create the cargoes and the trade, which I think for my sector, which is dry bulk sectors, that we need those new shipments, new cargoes into the market. But I just thinking when that will happen will still be a big question, because it's not just the government money we need. We also need the people to rebuild their confidence. So when the government money coming, so the normal people will follow. How and when that will happen is still wait and see. And my personal feeling is probably it will be not this year, but next year and the year after. So that is the reason I feel why I'm positive about this market. About how the shipping will become in the coming 5 years, that is really a $1 billion questions, because we know on one hand there's a lot of new regulation can potentially hit us, but we yet to know what the new regulation looks like, but particularly on the carbon emission side. The technology is not here yet. So I think everybody is struggling and trying to find out what we should do to dealing with some things which will happen, but we don't know how that will happen. But one thing I'm pretty sure, that new regulations with the EU ETS, fuel EU in the Europe, and probably other countries will follow. I think the shipping needs a big consolidation, that we will see more and more people trying to work together. So the landscape will be totally different in the coming 5 years' time.
So, hello, good morning. My name is Tsantanis, and I'm the chairman and CEO of Seanergy Maritime Holdings. Thank you for inviting us here in Pudong. It's a great experience, and we have a lot of friends, colleagues, and business associates that we always interact with. So, regarding the outlook for 2025 and thereafter, I strongly believe that the Cape-size market that we operate in will thrive, and the main reason is the lack of supply. Right now, the sector of the Cape-size market has the lowest order book of the last 20 years, and we strongly believe that there's going to be a supply shortage of ships, while the demand will remain at best stable, but it will always climb higher and higher every year due to infrastructure demand. So we're very optimistic about the prospects of the dry bulk market, and especially the Cape sizes over the next few years. As far as the evolution of the dry bulk space, dry bulk vessels are like the biggest fleet among all the conventional sizes of shipping globally. So it's very hard to replace. There are about 13,000 dry bulk ships that are very hard to be replaced. The order book stands at very low levels. So I'm very skeptical as to the actual renewal that we expect to see for the fleet over the next 5 years. Because right now the order book is filled with tankers, container ships, and LNGs. So there's no real space, especially for the Cape sizes, to be replaced anytime soon. So I don't really believe in any fundamental vessel changes over the next 3 to 5 years. However, I believe that with surgical, technological innovation and improvements, you can make the existing fleet far more economical and far more efficient than what it is. And this is what we're actually doing in Seanergy. We have been investing in energy-saving devices and a lot of other bells and whistles that make the ships
far more economical, and we expect to continue doing so over the next years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you. Ego.
Hi, I'm Michael Livanos. I'm DryDel Shipping CFO. I'm very pleased that I'm here in Shanghai attending the 8th forum of Capital Link. Thank you for having me.
What's your outlook on the dry bulk sector?
The outlook of our dry bulk sector. DryDel has placed orders, already taken 4 ships this year. 2025 we're taking 2 more ships, 2 Ultramaxes. In 2026, first half 4 more ships, 2 Handys, 2 40,000 tonners, and 2 Ultramaxes. And then we have placed an order for 2027, Kamsarmax, and 1 order for 2028, another Ultramax, 66,000. So we strongly believe that there is not oversupply of new ships, and we are strongly believers that the competitive edge is new technologies, new efficient ships, eco-friendly. So the outlook, I will say it's positive for us. We'll be cautious, but we strongly believe that there's good markets ahead of us for many, many reasons, including geopolitical and others. Most important, the Chinese stimulus plan. So we remain confident.
How do you see the industry evolving in the next 5 years?
I believe it's going to be challenging the next 5 years because of the new regulations applying, and I believe that most of the financial institutions will turn and seek to finance modern tonnage. So I think that the tendency will be more to environmental friendly vessels, and ESG will starting taking place and effect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Good evening. I am Dario Bocchetti, and I'm from the Grimaldi group. We have more than 150 ships and about 30 under construction now here in China, including also the new project that we hope they will fly soon, especially Ro-Ro, Ro-Pax, all the things on the wheels. Personally following all the design of the new shipping, innovation and energy efficiency.
What are some exciting new developments in terms of ship performance?
Exciting new developments in terms of ship performance nowadays are a lot of new technologies. Despite of which will be the alternative fuel of the future, there are today a lot of energy efficiency technology that can enhance big results. By the ships of today, by the sum of all this technology can reach up to 50% CO2 reduction compared to the past per cargo transported. And there are a lot of technology, from air lubrication, paint, silicone paint, hull treatment after you apply the paint for the following years, and then other technologies are related to the hydrodynamics, CFD, towing tank test, propellers, bulbs, appendix, gate rudders. And when you go to the engines, there are a lot of technology related to the exhaust gas treatment, microplastic filters, and a lot of technology on the fuel. And as well, there are a lot of technologies in the digital, like the voyage performance, artificial intelligence, big data analytics for the master. People involvement is very important for reducing the fuel consumption, because at the end of the day, ultimately, all the technology is the human element that will have to use it.
What role does China play in global shipping?
China nowadays is more and more important for shipping globally. China has the largest fleet nowadays, and in terms of shipbuilding, more than 50% of the ships are built in China. Our new building program is including Korea, but is mainly in China. And China has a very important role also politically. Today at IMO, when I speak about the decarbonization and our target, China role is super important because this decision at IMO level needs to be taken together, and only with the involvement of everybody, and China is a leader into that, we can reach a new levy system that will help to close the gap with the new very expensive alternative fuel, and at the same time helping the development of infrastructure in developing countries and helping the shipping as such to reach these very ambitious targets.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.